Welcome back to the Exzenya Experience podcast. In this episode, I pull back the curtain on my music, my journey, and the real stories behind every track. Here's a bit about me. I am Exzenya, an artist, a storyteller, traveler, investor, entrepreneur, and global soul. My music is just one expression of a much larger life. One lived across borders, languages, cultures, and rhythms. I do not just sing about life, I live it fully and loudly. With years of global experience, traveling with my family and my friends and fellow investors, I have danced through cultures and creativity across continents. My genre-defying sound reflects influences from pop, R&B, soul, jazz, EDM, punk, reggae, country, and so much more. My sound defies a single genre, moving fluidly between pop, R&B, soul, Spanish influences, and lyrical storytelling rooted in behavioral psychology. I am currently releasing tracks from two conceptually distinct albums: Story of My Life, an emotionally sequenced cycle of love, mistreatment, and survival, and Bar Scenes and Rumors, which is a playful, biting commentary on nightlife and chaotic decisions. My journey fuels my music, offering stories from intentional perspectives, cultures, and footsteps. I am also a successful entrepreneur and businesswoman, founder of CEO of multiple ventures and global teams and investors, a lifestyle strategist and investor in real estate, precious metals, and international markets, and I assist others to build financial freedom. My goal is to connect deeply with my audience, not only as a singer, but as a mentor, creator, and global citizen. Music is simply one piece of the much larger narrative I bring to my art. I am more than an artist. I am a multi-dimensional brand fusing sound, strategy, and soul. I'm a genre-fluid independent artist who crafts emotionally immersive music drawn not just from personal experiences, but from the stories of others. My work reflects the full spectrum of human relationships and psychological nuances, blending vulnerability with universal resonance. My dual bachelor's degree in psychology and communications and master level courses completed in applied behavior analysis and certification in conflict resolution. I channel decades of lived experiences across cultures and countries into songs that explore emotional cycles, identity, intimacy, and self-awareness. Whether it's seductive, satirical, soulful, or unsettling, my lyrics invite listeners to see themselves and others. I weave an unmistakable thread through every song I create, a fearless commitment to telling stories that are raw, emotionally authentic, and narratively rich. Whether exploring digital age chaos, primal and magnetic desire, or the layered patterns of modern relationships, each track pulses with an honest voice, conversational phrasing, and a slightly theatrical flair. My music is genre fluid yet unified by a sense of bold expression, shifting effortlessly from playful satire to sultry passion, with influences drawn from lived experiences, behavioral science, and global culture. My songs challenge stereotypes and invite listeners into a world that celebrates vulnerability, resilience, and reinvention at any age. Everything I create is human, straight from the heart, my experiences and the experiences of others who have lived similar things. These are more than just songs. They're chapters in a much bigger story. Today, in Podcast 2, we're going deep into my current releases. So let's start with the concept album number 1, The Story of My Life. This album walks through relationship cycles. The beginning spark, the intoxicating highs, the slow twist into darkness, the captivity, the painful awakening, and eventually the strength to reclaim yourself. It's my story, and it's the story of so many others. Each song is a chapter grounded in real psychology, including applied behavior analysis principles like intermittent reinforcement and punishment. It's heavy, cinematic, and eye-opening. First up is Scan Shen. This song opens the album in the very beginning stages. Before the relationship even fully begins, It's about that primal animalistic attraction and the deep raw desire for another person. Scansion comes from the musical scansion, the act of scanning the lines of a verse to determine their rhythm or meter, the patterned flow of sound, syllables, and beats. In this song, I transform that into something deeply physical and sensual. You're reading them like a rhythm. You scan their body, their energy, their movement, not to judge or interpret, but to sync with the musical frequency. You're feeling them out like a verse with a beat and begin to determine what comes next. And when you catch it just right, the connection is primal, instinctive, and magnetic. It's the act of scanning a person's body like a musician listens for tempo, to find their rhythm, lock into it, and enter a state of total synchronization. It's physical, sensual, and musical. The kind of sync where you move with them before a single word is spoken. You can begin to be able to predict their next move through that raw intimacy. I wrote Scansion about that moment when you don't just look at somebody, you scan their body like a musician scans a verse. You're not falling in love, you're locking into the rhythm. Full sync, no thoughts, just heat. Have you ever felt someone's rhythm before they even touched you? I feel this song captures those first connecting moments in every romantic relationship I have been involved with. With its primal Spanish-tinged rhythms, commanding yet vulnerable vocals, moody beats, and sultry melodies, this hypnotic pop R&B tinged with pop rock elements pulls you into a sensual, euphoric mood. It's bold, it's cinematic, and the perfect introduction to the emotional journey of the album. With Regulator of My Dopamine, this song is the emotional high point of the album, the one chapter where everything feels perfect. The connection is right, the chemistry is clean, the love feels natural, effortless, and aligned. This is the moment you start to believe, maybe this is what I was always meant to feel. Regular My Dopamine is about the ultimate high, not the kind that comes from a pill. It's the kind that comes from one person who brings your entire being into alignment. It's not too much, not too little, it's just the perfect balance of dopamine, emotionally, psychologically, and chemically. When they're in your life, your world stops spinning. You're not chasing anything. You're just there, in it, fully present, completely alive. And it feels so good. It becomes the standard by which everything else is measured. This isn't about addiction. This is about regulation and the euphoria that comes from finally being in balance. Some people make you feel like you need to escape. Others, they make you feel like you just got everything you ever needed. Regular My Dopamine is about that person, the one who gives you the perfect balance. Not too much, not too little, and in that balance, you feel the ultimate high. Not addiction, not chaos, just peace, clarity, and elevation. Have you ever felt so good with someone you forgot anything else ever existed? Well, I wrote this song for that feeling of when desire and attraction enter a deeper element and cycle in a romantic relationship, that where you are falling utterly in love with that special person. It's a sultry R&B infused pop track interwoven with jazz elements. With hypnotic beats, soulful vocals, and an evocative hook, I blend modern pop style with warm, subtle, retro edge that channels both vulnerability and desire. Moody, seductive, intense, addictive, hypnotic, confessional, sensual, and emotional. This track is romantic and energetic. Intermittent love. This sparks the start of the psychological shift in the album's arc, moving from genuine connection into coercion and manipulation. Intermittent love isn't about simple heartbreak or longing. It's about behavioral manipulation and how incredibly powerful it is when used to control someone under the disguise of love. The song is deeply rooted in applied behavior analysis principles, specifically intermittent reinforcement and intermittent punishment. These are scientifically proven to be the most powerful and addictive schedules of behavioral conditioning. In ethical ABA, they support positive change, but in abusive relationships, they become tools of control. Affection comes with unpredictability. Reinforcement and punishment are alternated randomly or disappropriate. You never know which version of the person you'll get. You stay not because you feel safe, but because the occasional reward keeps you hoping and longing. The inconsistency makes you doubt yourself. You believe you're making choices, but your behavior is being shaped without your awareness. This is how manipulators create emotional dependency, not through real love, but through conditioning. At its core, intermittent love is about how manipulation works through unpredictability. That cycle of love, punishment, hope, and confusion. I wanted to give voice to those stuck in these patterns. It's a neo-soul infused pop R&B track with chill pop and experimental R&B influences. Subtle Spanish rhythms, a hypnotic beat, lush harmonies, dark, moody production, haunting melodies, and expressive vocals layered with siren-like high background vocals. These haunting vocals evoke the Greek mythology of sirens. Beautiful, fatal voices that lure sailors to their doom, just like the manipulation pull of this kind of love. The lyrics capture it all. Emotional manipulation, self-doubt, the addictive nature of the cycle. It's brooding, reflective, with moods of angst, anger, despair, and deep introspection. This is the sound of attachment on a broken schedule, deeply human and relatable. Many of us have been in relationships that are not healthy for us. We do not enter these relationships knowing that it is abusive. We enter it because there is attraction, desire, love, and moments of sheer happiness. When it slowly starts to become corrosive, it leaves us pondering why, what did we do to cause this shift? Completely caught off guard, we are unaware that the person we trust and most and have given our heart and soul to has been manipulating the reward and punishment cycles. They give us everything, make us feel beautiful, important, and on top of the world, a concept known as positive reinforcement, only to have it taken away, their affection, their desire, just stripped away. We are led to believe it is our fault because they manipulate the world around us, causing us to turn away from loved ones and the things we used to enjoy. Taking away their love and affection is a concept known as negative punishment. So the unpredictability of reinforcement and punishment are the hardest patterns to break. Intermittent reinforcement is the strongest driver. Sometimes you get what you love. Love, affection, approval, rewards. Sometimes you don't. The unpredictability makes the behavior highly resistant to extinction. People keep hoping and keep trying long after it stops working. Classic examples are slot machines, toxic relationships, social media likes, etc. With intermittent punishment alternating with reinforcement, sometimes the person removes what you like, withholding love, affection, and silence. Sometimes they add what you don't like. Cruel words, criticism, abuse, control. This creates confusion, hypervigilance, trauma bonding because the good moments keep you hooked while the bad ones condition fear. This creates what they consider intermittent conditioning, which is drawn from the operant conditioning theories of B.F. Skinner. When positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment are delivered unpredictably, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes nothing, it produces the strongest and most persistent behavioral pattern. These are the hardest for the brain to unlearn. I wrote this song because, just like many of us out there, I have been caught in these abusive relationship cycles, and I have stayed in it too long. It is not easy to see that you're caught in the cycle until it has gone on for quite some time. Sometimes years, decades, or sometimes we never see it. The next song up is Captivity. This is the darkest chapter, a slow, haunting descent into the psychological reality of abuse-driven isolation. Here, the abuser cuts you off from the real world and reshapes you piece by piece until your thoughts, identity, and sense of self are no longer your own. Drawing from Stockholm Syndrome, as seen in the Patty Hearst case, kidnapping psychology, long-term abuse survival, and applied behavior analysis, shaping techniques, these tracks follow directly from Intermittent Love, the captive's world has narrowed to a single presence. External voices are eliminated through isolation and intermittent conditioning, which replaces the natural instincts with response controlled by the abuser. You begin to question everything. If I leave, will I die? Can I survive without them? If I escape, am I broken forever? Will I just repeat the cycle with somebody else? Freedom starts to feel as terrifying as staying. The captor becomes the ultimate authority, bending belief, identity, and reality itself. The song opens with a deep, resonant voice, almost like an old recording coming through a lone radio in a silent room. Down in the valley's so low. Hang your head over and hear the wind blow. As the last rhyme repeats, a hollow wind swells, pulling the listener into the isolated world. From there, it unfolds into a dark pop rock ballad with ghostly folk overtones, sparse cinematic instrumentation, ominous undercurrents, and vocals that move from intimate and restrained to raw and exhausted cries. This track is a psychological study in sound. It does not romanticize control. It exposes the mechanisms of coercion and the haunting truth that captivity, whether physical or emotional, can change a person so deeply that freedom feels unlivable. It is one of the most layered tracks on the album, immersing listeners in the captive's fractured mindset. I wrote this song because, for many of us, the entrapment of intermittent conditioning turns inward into something darker and more suffocating. When staying unseen and unheard feels like the only way to survive, the abuser has achieved total control. You endure instead of leaving because you've been shaped to believe it's the only option. This track is a psychological study in sound. It does not romanticize control. During the time I recorded this track, I was battling severe bronchitis for months, along with antibiotic-resistant strep throat that led to resistant oral thrush. The constant violent coughing actually tore my upper abdominal wall and diaphragm, which took several weeks to heal. The exhaustive state it left me in is audible in my vocals, and coincidentally, that raw, weary delivery added exactly the cinematic ambiance the story needed. This experience is exactly why I created the dedicated vocal health collection on my Amazon storefront, to share the tools that help me protect my voice and keep creating even on the hardest days. You can visit my store at https://www.amazon.com/shop/Exzenya. Ugly When You Love Me. This is the awakening, the moment love reveals its rot. It's not heartbreak, it's disgust. The kind of disgust that comes from finally seeing someone's version of love for what it really is. Manipulative, shallow, and decaying. What once felt beautiful now reeks of something you can't stand to touch. This is confrontation, throwing the mirror back at the person who calls it love while tearing you apart. Every lyric is raw, with truth and revulsion with precision. It's not about being broken or lost. It's about clarity and the realization that being loved like this feels filthy. The only way out is through the truth. The track lives in dark electronic space, pulsing and danceable, yet simmering with anger. Every synth and beat feels cold and deliberate, contrasting with venom-laced vocals. The performance isn't chaotic, it's surgical, rage refined into clarity. The cover art captures it perfectly. A once beautiful rose stands tall, but as you follow the stem, the petals decay and bleed downward from exhaustion. Beauty drains into ruin. Behind it, a ghost-like face emerges, not terrified, not weeping, just done. It's gothic, cinematic elegance mixed with corrosion. I wrote this song as part of the relationship journey. This is the turning point. You regain your strength and begin to see the relationship and the other person for what they are. You begin to realize that the things they have said and done are their twisted and ugly version of love. This enlightenment typically brings on disgust and anger. This is the point where you realize that no one deserves to be treated in this way, and the will to survive returns. This electrified, dark pop EDM track with pulsing energy turns beauty into decay and leaves only truth behind. Songs 6 through 9 are coming soon. These will continue the arc, the end of the relationship, the full cycle of relief, reclaiming your independence and forgiving yourself and learning to love yourself again. Taking back your power, moving on and finding success, redefining yourself to be better than any version you have ever been before. Next up is International Power. This one is deeply personal. It's a commanding rap anthem that blends hip-hop cadence with soulful, melodic depth. It opens with a stark a cappella declaration that immediately establishes presence, then unfolds into dynamic waves of anticipation and authority. I move between controlled rap delivery and expressive vocal passages. Power that is earned, disciplined, and self-defined, built on composure rather than aggression. Lyrically, the song centers on legacy, leadership, and global thinking. I explore redefining norms, crossing industries and borders, and standing unboxed, not through confrontation, but through conviction. The production shifts between cinematic anticipation sections and assertive, driving beats that evoke the feeling of walking into a room and changing the atmosphere without having to say a word. Working as a CEO and investor in multiple national and international ventures, for me, this song captures those moments. Nothing came easy to me. I've worked hard to get where I am today. I did so on the merit of calmness, professionalism, and persistence. Rap forward yet melodic, bold yet composed. This track reflects my real-world experiences as an entrepreneur and global investor, translating leadership and sovereignty into sound. It's the unstoppable force you build after surviving everything else that came before it. The fans applauded. This is a deeply personal turning point for me. It's a powerful, emotional, soft pop rock ballad that captures the intense vulnerability many performers feel just before stepping onto a stage and those first moments of facing that audience. The racing heartbeat, the self-doubt, the silent questions, and the fear that everything might fall apart in those seconds before and while performing. It's based on my very own severe stage fright, which is exactly why I haven't performed live yet, but I am planning on performing in the near future, and this song uses that fear as fuel. The track begins in isolation with my own thoughts and the sound of my own heartbeat before the fans start singing along and applauding. That moment transforms the panic into courage. It celebrates the unique connection between artists and their fans. The very people you fear disappointing become the ones who give you strength to continue. I see every performance as a movie playing vividly in my head. The lights, the energy, the smells, the sounds are all completely alive. When the time comes for my first live show, I envision I step into that spotlight full of first-time fear and anticipation. And in that moment, the crowd senses my hesitation and they step in. They start singing my lyrics back to me, applauding, encourage me to breathe and let the music flow. What begins as fear turns into connection and power. The fans don't just watch, they lift me up. This song is that exact moment. Raw vulnerability transforming into shared triumph. Blending soft rock, soft pop, and singer-songwriter storytelling with dramatic vocal style, this track is a tribute to the power of encouragement and the role fans play in helping artists find their voice. Finally, the closing song, That's the Story of My Life. This is a powerful pop rock anthem that closes the album. It transforms the familiar, sarcastic phrase, "That's the story of my life," into a bold declaration of resilience, growth, and self-ownership. Because let's face it, the reality is life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Built on driving instrumentation and authentic chorus, the track embraces every version of the self, the strong, the flawed, the rising, and the rebuilding. Rather than a polished life narrative of perfection, I lean into the full spectrum of human experience, acknowledging both pain and glory as the essential chapters of a personal evolution. I reclaim the phrase and reframe it as a statement of empowerment, a reminder that every setback, reinvention, and hard-earned triumph becomes part of the foundation that shapes who we are. Layered within the lyrics are subtle references and deeper meanings designed to reward attentive listeners, offering both immediate emotional impact and long-term replay value. For example, the word abades refers to the abandoned leper colony on the island of Tenerife, a place built in the 1940s to isolate those suffering from leprosy. It serves as a haunting metaphor for how fear of the unknown can lead to isolation and how lack of knowledge can prolong suffering, disfigurement, and even death. While rooted in my personal truth, the song is intentionally universal, inviting every listener to step into their own narratives and claim them without apology. As a closing track of this 12-song concept album, it serves as a defining culmination, intensity, reflection, and ultimately empowerment. The Story of My Life album is my debut concept album, tracing the psychological and emotional cycles of a relationship that burns bright, fractures, imprisons, and ultimately frees. The 12 tracks move through the phases of passion, toxic intensity, heartbreak, and self-discovery, each written with my unique blend of empathy, storytelling, and immersive sound. The songs weave themes from applied behavior analysis, psychology, religion, and cultural studies, law and forensic studies, and universal human emotion, but through the lens of raw, relatable storytelling. From the fiery openings of Scansion to the reflective closer that's the story of my life, the album is designed for listeners to see their own struggles and resilience mirrored back at them. It doesn't just tell a story, it guides listeners through one. I wrote the album in the hope that people not only see themselves, but also see others, becoming more forgiving of themselves and others, understanding themselves and those around them in a different light. We may not always see the struggles someone else is going through, just like the world and those closest to us don't always see what we're going through. It's also about giving a name to these things and letting people know that they are not alone. We've all been there, or at least the majority of us have been there in one way or another. Bringing together cultures, genres, and breaking down borders. That's what this album is all about. And there you go, you have it. That's the story of my life. A deep dive into concept album number 2, Bar Scenes and Rumors, is coming soon. This album explores the raw, messy social life, side effects of late nights, blurred decisions, and complicated emotions that happen after dark. From the satirical parody of drunk texting to the harsh social consequences spotlighted in VIP, and the introspective look at the unhealthy psychological coping mechanisms until I'm drunk and confused. These tracks pull back the curtain on how we navigate and sometimes sabotage our social worlds, as well as the completed songs 6 through 9 from the first album, that's the story of my life, once they are finished and released. Thank you for listening and for streaming. Your support means everything as I build this catalog, prepare for the albums, and get ready for the DIY tour. If you have questions about the songs, about me, or whatever your heart desires, drop them into the comments or send them my way. I'll be collecting them for a dedicated Q&A podcast episode where I answer as many as possible. I'll hold those Q&As from time to time depending on how many questions come in. You can ask about anything, and I'll do my best to answer honestly and openly. Remember to follow me here on YouTube and on your favorite streaming platform. Big love to my coach and dear friends, Maddie Morris, Lenore Oren with Make Singing Click, my producer Jeremy Barr with Oddly Enough Productions, and every one of you out there. This journey would not be possible without all of you. Thank you for believing in me and my music. This is the Exzenya Experience Podcast. Keep feeling, keep healing, keep creating. And until next time, much love to you all.
I've been weak and I've been strong. I've been careless and I've been wrong. That's my story, that's my story, with all its pain and all its glory. Sometimes that's just how it goes. It's the story of my life, don't you know? Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Don't you know, 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 don't you know? I've been defeated and abused and afraid. I've been cheated on but never strayed. I've stayed too long, left too soon. I lied inside and made it true. Never left an empty grave too soon. I only left an empty tomb. It's the story of my life which I found. That's my story, it's the story of all this pain and all this glory. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Don't you know, 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 don't you know? Like a phoenix from the ashes, I've arisen with confidence and sound decisions, steadfast, hungry, determined, ambitious, defying all of history's traditions. I've been beaten to the ground and left to die, although half were found, yet I try, landing with both feet on the ground. It's the story of my life, which I found. That's my story, that's my story, all this pain and all this glory. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Don't you know, 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 don't you know? Life is not a bed of roses, even a bed of florets. A veil nestled like osmosis at the end of the day, smile like a bed of razor blades. Head sunk fast, a steady gate to find another day. I choose that way. Every day is a new day, just like his 51st days. Stop dreaming, get started planning, get busy doing no matter life's demanding. Dream big, work hard, sing loud till the walls come crumbling down. It's the story of my life, which I found. That's my story, it's my story, all this pain and all this glory. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Don't you know, 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 don't you know? You're too long to never waver, you only be doing yourself a favor. Make inspiration your life's ambition to negative talk and thoughts, don't ever listen. You need to create this life for yourself, you need to live your own life, not from someone else. So when life strikes you down, you're the story of your life, which you found. That keeps both feet firmly secured upon the ground, and you too shall become unbound. This is the story of my life, which I found. That's my story, it's my story, with all this pain and all this glory. Sometimes that's just how it goes. That's the story of my life, don't you know? Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know? That's the story of my life, don't you know?